Hello, church. Today's devotional is called Lies, and it's part of a new series I'm doing about the relevancy of the Bible in today's world. I lie. Everybody lies. That was a favorite line of Dr. House in this series of the same name, and he's right. Reminds me of a TV commercial I was watching one time when Abe Lincoln's rather portly wife put on a new dress and came up in front of him and said, "How do I look?" And he said, "You look great, darling." And so I mean, sometimes we lie to spare people's feelings. Sometimes we lie to avoid embarrassment or getting caught at something. But sometimes we lie because it's the right thing to do. And I have always had my own expression that I would say to that. And that is, if the truth isn't right, it's okay to lie. And I often wonder if that's really true. I mean, it is for me, I admit it. But as long as I'm doing this series, I figured, well, let's check out some biblical sources here. So, again, if the truth isn't right, it's okay to lie. Now, I went on this premise. I imagine someone in World War II was harboring Jews in a hidden room in their house. And the Gestapo came through looking and couldn't find any Jews and looked at the owner of the building and said, "Are you harboring any fugitives here?" And he said, "No, I'm not." And he did it to save their lives, and they left. And I would ask myself, well, surely that has to be a justifiable lie. And I had several people argue with me that a lie is a lie, and you're going to be punished for your lies. So let's get to it. Is it ever okay to lie for just reasons? In other words, is lying ever justifiable? The answer is yes. The Bible does support justifiable lies on rare occasions. And there are many people that would say, including some biblical scholars, that there's no excuse for lie. And God takes it very seriously. And I know that he does. And I want to stress that lying for selfish, evil purposes is always a sin. And you can find some backup for that. I'm not going to read these verses to you, but you can look at Leviticus 19:11 and Colossians 3:9 if you want to check out those verses. So, again, lying for selfish, evil purposes is always a sin. However, a justifiable lie is not a sin for the precise reason that it's justified and done with the greater good in mind. In other words, a justifiable lie is not evil, it's good. So therefore, those who implement a justifiable lie on an appropriate occasion are not committing an evil act, but rather a righteous one. And it's important that we understand this. So, before getting into the scriptural proof of this, it's important to understand that the Lord plainly described the devil as the father of lies in John 44, and he referred to his followers, the devil's followers, as everyone who loves and practices falsehood, whose fate is the lake of fire, as recorded in Revelations 22:15. A lying tongue is one of the Lord's most hated things. That's in Proverbs 16-19. And all liars will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Revelations 21:8. So, justifiable lies may sometimes be necessary in a fallen world where the father of lies is the god of this world. And his deceived people run things in one capacity or another. This is shown in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, and in 1 John 5:19. Even the Lord utilized the lying spirit to carry out his righteous objective of executing wicked Ahab I'm going to read this passage to you. And the first speaker I'm going to talk about is Micaiah. And Micaiah was a prophet of God in good standing and referred to in Kings. And this is how this passage goes. Therefore, this is Micaiah talking. Therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne with all the multitudes of heaven standing on his right and on his left. And the Lord said, who will entice Ahab, king of Israel, into attacking Ramoth Gilead and going to his death there? One suggested this and another that. Finally, a spirit came forward, stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. By what means? The Lord asked. I will go and be a deceiving spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. You will succeed in enticing him, said the Lord. Go and do it. So now the Lord has put a deceiving spirit in the mouth of these prophets of yours. The Lord has decreed disaster for you. This is 2 Chronicles 18:18-22. Now it needs to be stressed that God did not deceive Ahab here, but he authorized the lie being sent, which thus gave Ahab a choice between believing a lie or believing the truth. The latter being presented via the righteous prophet Micaiah. So Micaiah told the truth, and the deceitful prophets did not. And Ahab chose to embrace the lie simply because it corresponded to his personal values, his personal worldview, and his personal agenda. And man, do we have that today in spades, don't we? People just deny the obvious truth because they don't want it to be true, and they'll do whatever they can to cover that up. And then here we are. So, something else to chew on. Have a good day, church.